Hey friends, and welcome back to Sewing from Scratch. Today I am comparing the three different Seamwork leggings patterns. Yep, Seamwork has 3 leggings patterns. Yep, they're worth comparing. Yep, I made them all. So let's get to it. So I wanted to do a comparison video between the 3 different Seamwork leggings patterns, honestly because I didn't think there was going to be that much of a difference, and I wanted to share with you any findings that there was. So I went ahead and I ordered 3 different colors of foundation cotton lycra from Sheer Perfection Fabrics right here in Saskatchewan, and I decided I was going to compare these legging patterns. So I wanted to use all the same fabrics just so that it's an apples to apples comparison. I've done a comparison video in the past where I had comments on that, and yes, I definitely agree that they should all be the same fabric. Sometimes though, I have something made and then I want to compare something so it's different fabrics. I just have to keep that in mind when I'm making it. Anyway, here I am cutting out my fabric. Once I'm done cutting it out, I'm going to chat with you about my initial findings. So the patterns that we're comparing today are the Aries, the Manila, and the Shelly leggings. The Aries is like a more sporty type. It has a contrasting panel, which on their website, Seamwork kind of markets it towards athletic leggings. The Manila has a nice petal detail at the cuff, really cute, kind of just like a little more dressier legging, I guess. And then the Shelly is your basic legging pattern, but it does have a gusset. Okay, I have all 3 patterns, the paper pieces cut out. I just thought I would go over my initial findings. There are 2 that have unique details. That's the Aries and the Manila. The Manila has a nice little petal thing at the bottom, and the Aries has the contrast panel. Only the Aries and the Shelly have gussets. The Manila does not have a gusset. And then only the Aries and the Shelly have contoured waistbands. The Manila does not have a contoured waistband. Only the Manila and the Shelly have length and shorten lines. So to shorten the Aries, I'm gonna have to do some figuring on that one, which is kind of disappointing. The Aries is the only one that has a pocket piece, which I believe is gonna go in the back waistband. And then in terms of like the leg shape, they're all kind of different. So the Shelly is just 1 piece for each leg. So that means that there's only going to be the inseam. There's not going to be a seam on the outer thigh running down the length of the leg. And the Aries is the same. However, there are the 3 different leg pieces for that color blocking in there. So, I mean, I'm guessing that they're kind of similar in terms of fit and shape, but this one, the Aries is going to have that contrasting panel in it. And then the Manila is 2 different leg pieces, so a front and a back, meaning it is going to have that outer leg seam as well as the inseam. Now the Shelly is the simplest one. It only has 3 pattern pieces. It has the waistband, the gusset, and the leg, so that's going to give us 6 fabric pieces once we get to cutting the fabric. The Manila will end up with 9 fabric pieces. We have the waistband, the cuff detail, and then the 2 leg pieces. So we actually have 4 different paper pattern pieces. And then the Aries has the most. Of course, we can expect that with the color blocking. So we have 7 pattern pieces, and that's going to give us 13 different fabric pieces to put together. I want to take a quick second and let you know that I am now on coffee. What the heck does that mean? I have never heard of coffee before. You don't even drink coffee. That's right. I don't drink coffee. Never had a cup in my life. Can't even stand the smell of it. So what coffee is it's kind of like GoFundMe, but instead all the proceeds go to the individual or the business fundraising, and I just have it set up if you are interested in giving a little bit of monetary support for the Sewing from Scratch channel. 100% of the proceeds go back into the channel to create content, video editing software, for filming equipment, anything like that. all the money goes back into this channel. If any of my videos have helped you, or if you just want to give back in a way, then you can check out my link in the description box for coffee. Thank you so much if you do. And while I'm here, I thought I would just talk about the Swedish tracing paper. This was my first time using it, so there's some things I really liked about it. I liked how quiet it is, and that's kind of strange, but I do a lot of work on this kind of stuff when my kids are sleeping, or just any time that I need to be a little bit quieter, and the medical paper that I was using is quite noisy, so I was really happy that this is not. It's also a little bit heavier than the tracing paper, so it doesn't blow around all the time. I mean, it definitely still does, but it doesn't just, it's not like I breathe out in frustration and all my pieces are gone. It's also more durable. It is not unrippable. My 3-year-old Destructor came in and ripped some of the paper. I also like that it's wider than the last medical tracing paper I was using. I normally do get the wider one. Last time I accidentally ordered the narrower one, so this is a nice treat to have a wider surface to work with. And I like that I can use pen on it and it shows up a little nicer than on the medical tracing paper. I did not like that when I tried to trace on it with Sharpie, it wasn't great. And I like that it's not as wrinkly as the medical tracing paper, so like I can crumple it and then it still kind of goes flat. I mean, and it's easier to iron and things like that. It can also be sewn together, so if you're doing a muslin or something in woven fabric, then you could sew this together and figure that out and then make adjustments right on your pattern pieces. There's a couple things I don't love about it, but that I'm gonna live with because this is so awesome. Number one, it's harder to trace onto paper. It's just because it is thicker and it's a different kind of material, it's harder to see underneath than the medical tracing paper that I had been using before. And the other thing is I do find it shifts around a little bit more. I think the medical tracing paper was kind of staticky maybe, and it would like kind of stick to the paper, but this does not. And I mean, that's just things I need to deal with on my own. So all in all, I do like the Swedish tracing paper. It did take a while to come. I ordered it on Amazon, so if anyone has any recommendations of where else to get it, I am all ears, because it did take a while to come and it was fairly pricey. But I am hoping to get set up with a printer in the next few months, so hopefully I won't need to be tracing anymore. Do you live in leggings? Are you working from home and leggings is your wardrobe now? Give this video a big thumbs up. So once I had all my fabrics cut out, I went ahead and sewed them all together. I couldn't really batch sew them because they're different patterns and I needed to follow the directions because I was doing a comparison video. I wanted everything to be just how it's supposed to be as in the video. I did end up shortening 2 of the leggings patterns. I'm going to talk about that more kind of at the end of the video here, but what I noticed when I was making them is that the Aries is a little more involved than the other 2, especially because you have to top stitch those panel seams, and I was using my cover stitch for that, so I was swapping thread between my serger and my cover stitch, which, I mean, it's not really the biggest deal, but you know how that is. You don't want to change thread when you're in the middle of a project, right? So that is something to keep in mind if you're looking at making the Aries and you don't have an abundance of the same color thread. Another thing I want to mention is some of the pattern directions are better than others. Now, I've mentioned this with Seamwork before, that their instructions are kind of hit and miss, and they're not super detailed like some of the indie designers that I purchased from. So there is that little hurdle. I don't think it's anything too concerning, but there were a couple spots in a couple of the patterns that I was like, whoa, I really need to sit down and focus on this because I don't know what the heck you're talking about. Now, I already mentioned that the Aries has a pocket. I don't love the finish of this, and we're going to talk about it in a second here, but I think I would probably omit it in the future. Now, a couple other things to mention are there are 2 of the patterns that use elastic. So the Aries uses a 1/4 inch elastic at the top of the waistband, and then the Manila, which is the petal hem pair, petal cuff pair, uses a 1 inch elastic as the waistband piece. Now, for as advanced looking as the Manilas look with that cute little petal cuff, they're actually the quickest sew. You don't need to use a cover stitch or hem, so it comes together really quickly, and and personally they might just be my favorite. So in terms of comparing the patterns to each other, let's start at the top and work our way down. The Aries and the Shelly both have wide waistbands and they are contoured. The Manila has a slim waistband and it is straight, which I actually didn't find to be a problem at all. I think because there's the elastic in there and it fits fairly nicely and it gives kind of a smoother belly area because you don't have a seam going right across. Now I will say I think all of these patterns are meant to be more mid-rise, but they're all fairly high-rise on me, which is strange because I thought I do have a longer torso compared to my legs, and usually with seamwork patterns I don't have to alter the rise or the waist on really anything. I just made their wrap dress. If you saw my November makes video you would have seen this, and I didn't have to alter the waist and it fits me where it's supposed to. So I think it's maybe in the rise, so might have to adjust that going forward. So, and again, the Aries has that pocket in the back, and then the Aries and the Manila have elastic in them and the Shelly does not, but I don't find the Shelly a problem to stay up. So let's work our way down. Next, let's talk about the crotch. Only two of these patterns have gussets, and those are the Shelly and the Aries. Very different gussets, which I thought they would have just been the same thing, but they're not. The Shelly has a really long one that goes pretty much from like knee all the way up and down to your other knee, and then the Aries just has a small kind of, I don't know, raindrop type shape. Diamond raindrop, is that a thing? I don't know. Anyway, that's how it is, and I find them to be comfortable. And the Manila does not have the gusset, and I do notice a little bit of fit difference in the crotch, but not enough for me to like not use the pattern again. And I think you could definitely hack the cuffs of the Manilas onto really any pattern. Okay, so length. So I did shorten the Manilas and the Shellys. I shortened the Shellys I think by 4 inches, and then the Manilas I shortened by 2 inches. It's very, very strange to me that this is a thing, because why do I have to shorten them different amounts? I really don't understand that. They're both supposed to be like full length leggings, more or less. So are they drafted for a different size? Like I was very confused by that. So make sure you're checking out the inseam, measuring it, comparing it to your own inseam measurement, and also like hold the pattern up to yourself or something, or make a muslin to kind of figure out how much you want to lengthen or shorten those pieces. There is lengthen and shorten lines on those two patterns. Again, the Aries does not have lengthen and shorten lines. I thought I was going to shorten it, but when I held them up to my body, they really weren't that long compared to like what I was looking at in the picture of what they're supposed to look like. So I didn't shorten them, and they hit me pretty much capri length. Again, I really don't understand the inseam measurements of Seamwork. Okay, and now let's talk about the cuffs. So the Shelly and the Aries just use a regular either twin needle, zigzag, or cover stitch hem, but the Manilas use the petal cuff. And I was actually really intimidated by these. I left them till the end because I was thinking they would be like involved. I don't know why I thought that. They're like the easiest cuff you could ever do, really. The only thing is I don't think the instructions are that great. Line the dots on the cuff up with the outseam of the pant leg. So that was kind of something, and it fits perfectly. You don't have to stretch anything. It's beautiful finish, and then you just press it and flip it down, press it again, and it's so much fun. Love it. So I made these all in size medium as well. That's kind of where my hip measurement put me at on the Seamwork size chart. My waist put me at like I think an extra large, which again, I really just don't understand this. I just don't understand it. I made the medium. They fit me great. I would not size up or down. I just love the fit of them. I think maybe if I was doing athletic knit, they would be like really nice and compressed, but the cotton lycra is great for movement, and yeah, I'm just super, super happy with the fit of them. So I think that's all I have to say about these leggings. I think if I were to make any of them again, the two with the wider waistbands, the Aries and the Shelly, I think I will lower the pants rise so that the waistband hits more over my lower belly, my mum tum. That's just kind of my most self-conscious part of my body. So I think I would like to have that waistband right across there instead of cutting it across. And then the Manila, I mean, I do have to do that calf adjustment because I made them too tight there. But other than that, I'm really happy with the fit of the Manilas. So I hope this video was helpful to anybody looking to make any of the Seamwork leggings patterns. If you are not already a Seamwork member or you have no idea what the heck I'm talking about, I always have a discount link for you guys in my description box, which is going to give you 50% off of your first month of Seamwork. So make sure you look into that. It also makes a great gift for anybody looking to give a sewing friend a gift this Christmas. Seamwork is great for more than just the patterns. There's a community there, there's tutorials, there's classrooms, there's magazine, there's a whole lot of things, but my favorite part, including the patterns, is the fabric discounts. There is a list of amazing fabric stores that you can get discounts at just from being a Seamwork member, so it really pays for itself if you do any sort of fabric shopping. So again, thanks so much for watching. Hope this video was helpful. If it was, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you in the next video. Have a great weekend. Bye.